Today is August 29th, Thursday in the morning, about 9:20 a.m. or so. So this is the morning journal that I make every day. Just having the coffee in this cup today, enjoy the little things. This week, I'm trying to enjoy the little things in life. Yesterday, if you've seen my video yesterday evening, we went for a dinner, Alice and I, and one of our friend from her school. They live right next door, the little boy and her mom, and it was fun. It was midweek. Going outside for a dinner was very normally we don't go outside for dinner on a midweek, so Alice kind of thought it was like a play date type of thing, so that was fun. And the day before, she went there to swim in their pool. They have a pool. That was good. And later in the day today, also, she might be able to go, but there's some rain prediction, so that we'll see. So it just came to my mind yesterday that a couple of weeks ago when we went for a trip, there were some fun parts of the trip, but there was a lot of stress for different reasons. And yesterday I was just thinking, this week we have been home, but doing these little things, in some way we are probably enjoying more. So that tells you that it's the surroundings, they say people, places, and things. All of that makes a difference. And yesterday I was listening to a Joe Dispenza excuse me, videos on YouTube. Lately I'm listening to Joe Dispenza quite a bit. It's resonating. So we all know that from different things, that our inner world creates the outer world, the reflection. The outer world is the reflection of inner world. At the same time, the point that really stuck with me also from his video was that the outer world also creates some of our inner world. It has the influence on our inner world, right? So if you're in a situation where you're seeing especially that you are in different situations, you're having somewhat normal time, enjoyable time, and there will be conflicts here and there, but then when you are in a specific situation all the time, there's just conflict and nothing else, and say you have tried to resolve the situation, but from the other side, no trying, then you know that your outer world is actually feeding the two sides that I talk about. This is the bad side and the good side. We have both of the side in all of our minds, and whatever we feed is what grows. When you see that you are in a situation or the people, places, things that no matter what you do this is getting fed, that sometimes the only solution solution could be you remove yourself from that situation, no matter how hard it is. Of course, you don't want to do it right away. You want to, give it a try, do whatever you can. But at some point, life is short. You can do what you can. And we got to think of our inner world and outer world. And if you are around people, places, and things where it is not causing you so much stress. Your better version is coming out. And on the other hand, it's not. So it's some of life lessons as we go through life, and when we are in 40s, like I am, you know that the little things is what really matters, right? So if you can enjoy the little things, you know that you're in the right mindset. And I'm so deeply, deeply grateful for those little things. I'm making little progress. So last night, this week, Alice is sleeping in a different room. So also very recently, from the resilience and strength that I got back in me a little bit, I started watching a TV show last night, and it was after a long time, 9-10 months, and a couple months will be a year, I would say. In between, I haven't found interest in watching any shows, anything. Even my favorite shows I didn't like watching. There was this, I don't know, intense sadness and things like that as I was going through stuff. There are still things going, but I think the healing that I did over time helped a lot, brought back some normalcy in my mind. And I was watching that show, and I liked it, which is good, because that is in some way kind of you fall off, and then you have to get back up and keep going. My big focus is to find a job that's harmonious, so that I had the time to play with Alice a little bit, because she wants that. She's only 8, so she's gonna grow up soon. I started listening to this book again. This is one of my all-time favorite books, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Here he talks about the focus about rich is not only about money, it's about manifesting things. So you have a job, you want to manifest, you want to manifest a healthier life, better life, how you have this intense desire, and then how you keep going. That ultimately will help you to reach to that destination. So yeah, there's 13 principles. He interviews Andrew Carnegie. This was written 100 years ago, and he was Andrew Carnegie's mentee, and Andrew Carnegie introduced him to big people back then, Abraham Lincoln, Edison, Gandhi, and many big people like that. And from interviewing about 500 people like that, he came up with 13 principles that how it works. At the very end, the part goes to the subconscious, how subconscious helps us to bring things into reality when we imagine, visualize, and keep going. It happens. And I was I was reading a page of this book too, How to Smile by Thich Nhat Hanh this morning, and it talked about the getting unstuck. There was a page, getting unstuck. When we think that we are the victim of a situation, even though it's hard to not think as a human being, right? When two people have challenges, we think that you're the victim of the situation, that keeps you stuck right there. So in some way, you have to think that the other person is also actually the victim, and then it's in some way that if you could forgive them but they can't forgive you, it's not because they don't want to or something. That also means that they are suffering, they are not able to. And through your inner work and healing and everything that you have been able to come out of that, which is why you can forgive. But the people who can't, they have not been able to end that suffering for themselves, and which is why they hold on to those emotions, because it's if you think of it, the good emotions goes away, like it's like a bouncing ball, it just comes and goes, right? It's hard, we have to hold on to it tight to enjoy, to reminisce, to feel grateful. But the bad emotion, it clings with us, because that's how our mind works. The subconscious is like 95%, it controls 95% of our mind. So excuse me, a lot of it comes from our ancestors and our genes and DNA, is how everything is programmed, how our mind is programmed. So that's a part that we can't change anybody else. We can change ourselves to remembering that the victim mindset doesn't help. You have to kind of let go and forgive. And when you forgive, the other day I made a video after listening to something where the real forgiveness happens when we can let go of those emotions. And then sometimes it may not happen at once. You have to keep doing it, right? You keep doing it, then eventually it happens. So I'm going to do a little bit of my mantra quickly. Trust in God, accept things I can't change. Speak positive, uplifting words. Love, harmony, joy, happiness, patience, present, stay present, kindness, forgive, look for positive in every situation, let go of the emotions and everything that no longer serves me. Stay focused, stay resilient, stay strong. Stay positive, stay uplifted, no matter what happens. One of the videos I made yesterday was that they say that you become like the 5 people you spend time with. Jim Rohn said that, and Tony Robbins says it a little differently. You become the person you spend most of your time with. So whoever that one person you spend most of your time, you become like that. And if you think of it in some way, after a very long time, if you've been with your spouse, you become a little bit like your spouse, and your spouse becomes a little bit like you. That kind of tells you how it works. But one interesting thing that came to my mind is actually we become what is our dominating thought, right? So in our thoughts, in our minds, the circumstances, situation, people, places, all the things impact us, and then the version that we become, and we are not same. Like in Buddhism, they would say that if you take a bath in a river twice, you are not taking a bath in the same river. The river always changes. Everything is in a constant impermanence. So we ourselves are also constantly changing. So all the things, the thoughts, the decisions we make, and everything is constantly changing us. So that is that is an important factor to remember, that what we are thinking about keeps changing us. Like even for me, how I felt at the end of last year versus even 4 months ago versus now is very different, and that is all about how I was feeding my mind and my body. I was reading lots of books. These days I'm reading a little less because the focus is a little bit on finding a job. So, but I still listen to a lot of books when I go to the gym, especially when I'm exercising. So that helps, because feeding our mind with good things is very essential, because what is in our mind is what we become. And another important part, I think I might capture this in a shorts too, because I thought it was so good how Joe Dispenza said it, that when we are trying to manifest something, when we think of we have to go from A to B, it's not about just manifesting from here to here what we don't have and we manifest that thing, but the most important part in that is how we are changing, because we, from each point to each point, we ourselves are becoming a different version. So the biggest part of manifesting is also manifesting those things in ourselves when we are here versus we are here. I thought it was an amazing concept to remember the person that we become in the process is the key, is the important part. We become more resilient, we become more positive and uplifted and more patient if we are trying to feed those, right? So that was a really amazing concept, that who we become in the process is the really most important part, because as we become different, our inner world changes, and that creates or the outer world. And they say don't really create, it's already there. You just kind of immerse yourself into it, the frequency and all of that matches, and that's when your reality shifts, because you have shifted. Yeah, so those are like amazing concept. I did a little mindfulness thing going out in the deck today. I had a lot of things to do today, so I was like, should I do it? But then it was only a couple minutes, so that's the thing that you gotta remember. I went out in the deck and used my senses to smell, to hear the sound. I tasted the energy square that I had with my coffee, and my coffee is still drinking that. And felt the temperature, so those things really does help. It will take only a minute or two, but just being present for 1 minute in the day in 24 hours can also help us to ground ourselves. So I'm gonna try a different, not different, like something interesting. Since I gained so much weight, I figured that I'm gonna try some diet. And I'm talking about it here because sometimes when you talk about things in public, it kind of, they say that you have more accountability. I also shared it with a friend of mine. She's encouraging, which is good. I'm gonna make some cabbage soup today, and on YouTube somewhere I found it says you lose 15 pounds in 1 week. I don't think it'd be that much, because I probably won't be following exactly the way it is, but even if I could lose, I don't know, 5-10 pounds in a week, I'll be happy with that, because I gained a lot of weight and I want to get back to my normal weight before the holidays. So yeah, I'll do that today a little later. I'll apply for some jobs and then go make the soup. And when I make the videos in the next 7 days, I will try to follow it as closely as I can. And then maybe if things work out okay, I lose quite a bit, then I probably will give it a little break, maybe a week, and then I might do it again. Because generally sometimes they say because diet sometimes, through dieting, you may not get enough vitamins and protein and whatnot. So that's why I don't want to do it for too long, because that can cause some damage to your some internal organs or something. So that's why I can do it with little intermittent, like few days or a week, and then a little break, another, do some. So and later in the day, if the weather is good, I might take Alice for a little swimming to next door. It's very kind of them to invite Alice, because throughout spring and summer, if you have seen my videos, you know that Alice couldn't do that because of her arm. So she's very excited to swim now. Again, that kind of reminds us the impermanence of things. So if you're going through some challenges, if you're going through some difficulty, know that it's not permanent. There will be a daylight at the end of the darkness. You just have to keep going and just, try to find a support system. And if you don't have a support system, come here, comment, and we'll encourage each other throughout the process, because in my case, some of the situations that I was dealing with a few months ago is still the same, my outer world, but in my inner world, I feel a lot better. So because I think the work that I did, it helped, and my support system, my friends, the prayer group, they're helping tremendously. So I feel blessed. I feel blessed for all the people that help. They're helping me, and the people here. You guys keep coming and watching the videos, and you like and comment, so that helps. And like I always say, write it down in a journal or whatever you do. The consistency, even if you can't do every day, do it like few times a week, or even once a week, like maybe set a day instead of a different random day, because that's what I figured when I tried to do that. If I'm doing it at a different time or something, it doesn't work. Let's say every week you want to do Saturday morning or Sunday morning, just make that at your time, and then after you do that for a few weeks, the trigger and the day is going to, the time and the day is going to trigger it for you, that I gotta write it down. And it helps so much. I can emphasize, I started these videos 27th, is the calendar, 27th May, which was the Memorial Day, and today is August 29th, 3 months straight. I made these videos, and then before I started this, I knew these are gonna help, but it is beyond what I thought how it would help. So some consistency in life when many challenging things are going on in life is really, really helpful, because these are the videos that pushes me to learn more. Like even this morning, I was like, oh, okay, other than the day-to-day stuff, what am I going to talk about today? So I wanted to talk about something positive, and that's when I read a page of this where it was like how to get unstuck, and all of these things we know, like, right? Like when somebody can't forgive you for something that they are suffering, just remembering that. Like I made a video about that when I was reading about it, like, I don't know, a few days ago, but it was not in my mind. But this morning when I read it again, it came back to my mind. So when we keep feeding our mind this over and over and over, then our mind changes, like we are feeding this part, we are watering this goodness in us, right? And the impact on kids are amazing. So my daughter, the other day, she and I were talking about something, and she was saying that it was so funny, but it was so it made me feel so good. So she was like, this kid, I of course don't say the name at school, she's like, oh, this boy is treating me like trash. She's only 8, so so she was nice to him, but he was treating her like a trash. But in the same group, there's 2 other boys who are playing with her. They're nice. And so she says, I said, then, if he's treating you like trash, you just maintain a distance from him. You don't have to play with him. There are lots of other friends. She's like, yeah, I'm just going to play with the two other boys who are nice to me, and I'm also nice to them, and I'll continue the goodness. I was like, just to hear the goodness from her, it made me feel a lot better. And the other day, she also said that there was a girl at her after school. She was bothering Alice in the past, and Alice had talked to me about it here and there. And a couple of days ago, she said she made friends with her, and I was like, wow. So, those little things, kids learn from us, and because I always tried to teach her, and some of it, I don't know, it probably came from my mom, that you just continue to be nice, to be good, and then if people respond in a nice way, great. If they don't, then maintain the distance and be nice with others, and people will come around. If they see the niceness in you, they'll come around. I don't know if that's what happened, but it made me feel very good about Alice, how it worked. But anyway, so I'll get going. There's a lot to do today. I don't know if I'll get a chance to make another, maybe one or two shorts in the afternoon or evening. And then definitely tomorrow morning, because I'm continuing the morning ones because it is helping me so much. And I hope this video some of you also find helpful, and it gives you the courage to keep going if you are facing some difficulty in your life. The most important thing to remember is nothing is permanent. It is not going to be permanent. If you have seen my videos through summer, you know what all I went through for Alice's help, and thank you God, that I'm in a much better state, especially with that. Now there are still a lot of other things, but I know that is also not going to be permanent. There'll be light at the end of the tunnel, and we'll keep going, and I will keep updating about my cabbage soup, how things are going here too, and hopefully it works and I end up losing some weight. Okay, bye.